What's up, champ? Hey, Gil, this is one of my subscribers. I want to answer your questions regarding seller financing subject to and some other questions you had regarding my journey. First of all, I want to say thank you for being a subscriber and watching. And for you, that's not Gil, if you have any questions or comment, leave it below. I'll be happy to answer those questions. So the very first question you asked me, Gil, is since you can get a subject to without having capital, why don't I personally get one since I'm in the situation where I am today? And I'll love to answer that question. That's a very, very good question. So my question for you, Gil, is what is your favorite car? Leave it below. Let's say you have a dream car, okay? Let's say it's a Mercedes or it's a Porsche or it doesn't matter what it is. Whatever your dream car is. My dream car was a SL 550 AMG, black on black. So if I just gifted you my dream car, okay, you didn't have to pay any money for it, zero. Okay, I'll just give it to you for free. Now my question is, do you gonna need any money driving it? Leave a comment below, and the answer is yes. You will need money driving the car, even if you got the car totally for free. Doesn't matter if it's a $20,000 economic car or it's a $100,000 plus luxury car. Okay, if you got the car for free, you will still need money to hold the car, maintain the car. What kind of money do you need? Well, as soon as you drive off, you're going to need gas, and gas costs money. It's not for free. As soon as you drive off, you're going to need to put that car into your name. So you're going to need pay for registration. You're going to need pay for the transfer of title. You're going to need to pay. You need to insure the property. You're going to need to pay for insurance. You're going to need to pay for inspection. You're going to need to pay for registration for the city to make their taxes. So right off before you drive the car, you got to put it under your name. You have to insure it. You got to make sure it has gas in it. So I hope that answers your question, because you didn't have to pay $100,000 for a car like I did. I'm going to gift it to you for free. But does that mean that you got the car for free? Yes, you got the car for free. But does that mean that you don't have to have any money? No, you're going to still need money to take care of this car. What do I mean? Well, like I said, you're going to need to pay for all these fees to hold it, okay? Same thing with the real estate. Sorry, guys. Same thing with real estate. You know, let's say I find a deal subject to the seller's highly motivated. They're willing to deed me the property. I step into their shoes and I start making the monthly payments. Well, right off the bat, I'm going to need the monthly payments to make every month. Right off the bat, I'm going to need, if I don't live in the property and if I'm going to turn into a rental, then I'm going to need holding fees in case the property is vacant. I'm going to need money to advertise it. If I'm going to live in the property, then I don't have those two other bills, advertisement and holding fee, because I'm going to live in it. But I got to make sure I have the money to make the monthly fees. Okay. What if in a month or two the roof goes out? Well, I'm the one that has to be able to pay for that. What if, you know, I got to cut the grass or do the lawn care? Well, if I don't have the time to do it, then I have to pay someone to do it. What if the light bulbs go out? What if the sink starts dripping? What if the restroom gets clogged up? You know, and all these things as an entrepreneur and a landlord since 2006, you know, being a professional landlord, there's a lot of headaches and responsibilities that go with owning a rental property or owning a property. So I may not have to come up with the $200, $300, $400, $500,000 to buy the property. Just like in the car example, you may not, Gil, have to come up with $100,000 to buy your dream car because it's going to be gifted to you. However, you will be responsible for the gas, for the electric, for the insurance, for the maintenance, the tires, registration, title transfer, all that stuff. Same thing in its real estate subject too. Just because I can get a property with no money down does not mean that it's not going to cost me any money. Okay, I may get the property for free, but going forward, I got to make monthly payments. Going forward, I have to insure it. Going forward, I have to maintain the property. Going forward, if something breaks, I got to fix it. So that said, to answer your question simply put, just because I can get a house for free doesn't mean that I'm not going to need any money. I'm going to require money. Okay, and because of my situation where I am today, I don't want to spend the money that I have on a liability asset, because even though a a rental property is an income producing asset that could be positive. If it's vacant, it's a liability. And so I need to have positive cash flow in businesses to cover that. And at this current time, I don't have that. That's why I would never buy a property and be responsible for it if I couldn't afford to pay for it, or if I didn't have a big sum of money as a cushion. Now, there's a lot of gurus that talk about you can buy houses with no money, and that is true. But they don't talk about what I just told you, that you're going to need money to maintain the baby, the property, the asset, while it grows up and gives you money. Even when it grows up and gives you money, there's going to be times where you're going to have to take care of it. That's just the name of the game, okay? Now, that was a very, very good question. I hope that answers your question. Now, most people are going to have to spend money to find one of these subject to deals or seller financing deals, and then they're going to have to spend money to have the capital to buy it. Maybe they're behind 3 months or 2 months, and then they're going to have the maintenance fee. But in a situation where you get the property totally for free, right, then you don't have to do the advertisement, and you don't have to pay the arrears or the closing costs, but you will have to pay the maintenance fee. So you're just like even 2 steps ahead by getting it for free, but you're still going to have to pay something, okay? It doesn't matter what your exit strategy is. If you can do a fix and flip, if you're going to do being a landlord, what have you, okay? Now, Gil also asked me another good question. He said, Mike, why don't you get a free cell phone? I know you're in a tough situation, and to answer that question is that I don't want anything for free in life. Let me say that. I don't want a handout. I don't want Big Brother to take care of me. I don't want a bank to take care of me. I am the type of individual that I believe that I can create myself. I have my own responsibility and accountability. So if things don't go right, man, I'm just going to tighten my belt till things go right. If things don't go right, I'm not scared to live on the streets to be my dreams. And that's the difference between me and some other individuals or gurus, is a lot of the gurus were willing to borrow money to be their dreams, to get into debt, which I'm not. And they're willing to get the cheese from Uncle Sam, which I'm not either, because I believe that less government is better for you and me. I believe in freedom and liberty. And to have freedom, you have to have responsibility, okay? I mean, it's so crucial. Again, let me say that. Freedom comes with risk and responsibility and accountability. If you delegate that out, then you're not having freedom. Like the guy that's in a strap jacket in prison, he's 100% safe, but he has zero freedom. Versus the guy that's in a prison cell, he has a little bit more freedom, but he doesn't have that much risk, right? But he doesn't have as much freedom in you. Where if you have a job, you feel what I'm saying? Well, if you're a total entrepreneur and you're not willing to borrow money or get into debt, then you got to take massive risks. But you're massively free. So they go hand to hand. The last question Gil had is subject to investing a good time in today's market? Well, I'm not a financial advisor or attorney or anything like that. This is just my personal belief. But it doesn't matter if the market is up, sideways, or neutral. There's always going to be a pool of motivated sellers. There's always going to be people that are behind their payments, that lost their job, death in the family, divorce. These things are always going to be there. But what makes things interesting right now is because we have a worldwide conflict. We have inflation. We have massive tightening of lending. We're having massive interest increase. We're having people not have a whole lot of money. Okay, people getting laid off, and we're heading, in my opinion, to the darkest depression that America's ever seen, which all leads me into believing that not only are we going to have the average, right, motivated sellers, but we're going to have a whole bunch of new motivated sellers that are being forced into this category because of external forces that the Fed and Big Brother has created for us. Okay, so when you have two types of motivated sellers merging into one, then you're going to have, of course, more motivated sellers. Okay, so it doesn't matter what time it is, subject to seller financing, buying properties from motivated sellers. It doesn't matter if it's from cars, boats, real estate. It's always a great idea, in my opinion. But in a recession, in a depression like we're going through now, it's always better because there's always more motivated sellers and there's always less buyers because most people don't have the money because everyone relies on credit, and credit is being contracted. So if you have cash or you're able to negotiate creative seller financing, doesn't matter if you're buying cars, real estate, then it's a great time. So to answer your question, is subject to a great game plan for 2023? Absolutely. 2024? Absolutely. And going forward, yes. Contraction of the money system, which means less buyers, more motivated sellers out there because they're getting their job fired, they're not able to sell their properties, the market is shifted. And so when you add that up on top of the every day, every year, motivated sellers, people that are going through divorces, inheritance, etc., you add that up, now you're getting a bigger pool of motivated sellers, which only means opportunity for people that have the skills. If you don't have the skills, then go down and download my mother course at myrealestatedojo.com at an extremely almost a free 90%, 99% off or something. Peace.